Uh, I'll now request Hari Kiranji to provide his concluding remarks. But before that, I thought I'll just give a quick overview in terms of numbers as what we looked into in last 2 days. So we had about 22 presentations. Out of 22, we had about 7 invited talks and 15 paper presentations from research scholars. And just within these 22, we have a whole world that is actually emerging. Even I'm surprised if I look into it. In terms of the text that we looked into, we have 8 texts that we were detailedly introduced to, starting from Yoga Taravali, Amrita Siddhi, Yoga Karnika, Yoga Rahasya, Yoga Sangraha, Yoga Bija, Yoga Chintamani, and Goraksha Shataka. So these were the 8 texts that we were detailedly introduced to. And then we had about at least 4 papers which were exploring various connections of Hatha Yoga with other traditions, with Tantra, with Vedanta, with Shaivagama and Tamil traditions. So these were the 4 papers with respect to connections. And we had about 6 papers which were looking into specific themes and concepts within the Hatha Yoga tradition, whether it was curing of diseases, nadis, vayus and marmasthana, shatkarmas, chakra and kundalini, and also temple architecture and iconography. So these were specific thematic papers. And we also had a very good overview of the kind of research that is happening in the field of Hatha Yoga from 2 different sources. One is the Indian institution, that is KSRI, and the other one is this multi-nation, multi-billion project, Hatha Yoga project, which was spanning from 2015 to 2020. And also, we were also given a guidance as to how this research work has to be taken up, especially with the incorporation and integration of Sanskrit into the studies of Hatha Yoga. So this is a brief overview of the kind of papers that we have had. And also I'm happy to share, out of the 15 scholars who presented, 9 were women who presented in this conference. So this is what the conference is in a nutshell, and we are happy that we were able to bring it along with the collaboration of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, a very renowned yoga institute in India. With this, I now request Harikiran Vadlamani ji. Harikiran Vadlamani ji is the founder of Indic Academy, the main force, the main source, the main brain behind all these multifarious activities that are taking place under the broad banner of Indica. You might be familiar with Indic Academy and Indica Yoga, but these are not just the 2 platforms. There is Indic Book Club, there is Indica Pictures, there is NICE, that is a network of Indian cultural enterprises. There is a platform which works on soft diplomacy, that is soft power. Like this, you take any field, there is a platform of Indica that is working towards the renaissance of India and Indian thought. And for there's one person who is making all this possible, that is Hari Kiranji, and we are fortunate to have him here to provide us the concluding remarks. Over to you, Hariji.
Thank you. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. I was only asking Vinay not to dilute the standards that he himself has set last year. Last year, the conference was in Bangalore, a physical conference in February, much before COVID. And I could see that there was a sort of a unsure and tentativeness on as to what kind of response he will get. But I was, all the mails that he was sending me, I only had one single response mail. Please don't dilute, please don't dilute. And today I can very, very happy and proudly say that Vinay, you have excelled again. You have given us a phenomenal conference once again, and you're setting the benchmark with the able under the able tutelage of Nagaraj Garu, who is doing so many things for our academy. So really, this has been a very, very enlightening conference in that sense. We just completed we closed our accounts. Our year is 31st of March. And I had an opportunity to be on a panel with Mohandas Pai is a good friend of mine. So Mohan was the CFO for Infosys. And he used to set a benchmark every year of giving the annual accounts within 15 days, then he made it 10 days, then he made it 8 days. So he was always setting global benchmarks on how fast he can give the annual accounts after the year end. So I was telling him that I'm very much impressed with you because I was introducing him in a panel. And at the Indic Academy, we have 20 verticals. And I'm very happy to tell you that yesterday, the 24th of April, we have been able to give the annual reports of all the 20 verticals. And this is possible entirely because of the leadership of each of these verticals. Vinay heads Indica Yoga. Like that, for every vertical, we have exemplary leaders who are passionate about that particular thing that they're doing. The reason that we are so successful, the reason that Indic Academy is able to make an impact is primarily because they are able to tap into the passion of the respective vertical head. And over the last year, we have grown exponentially. Our growth in terms of the amount dispersed, the activities, the sheer number of activities is extraordinary. I would urge all of you to please visit our website and look at all the verticals and look at the graph that we have made of the organization chart in terms of the thought centers we have. We have 6 thought centers. In terms of the functional areas, in terms of the ecosystem that we are trying to build, and in terms of the various platforms. And each of them you visit and look at the annual report, and you will understand the sheer scale at which all the operations are happening. And this is all thanks to the exemplary, passionate leaders for each of these verticals. To all of them, express my deep gratitude. KSRI is an organization that we have been very deeply engaged with. We already have VP Santanam chair. One of the scholars is doing work for us for a particular fellowship. And our strategy now is to become a hub, not just an inter-university hub, but to be a hub between inter-gurukula, inter-institutions, and inter-universities. So a hub of all the people who are working for our preservation, protection, and promotion of our Indic knowledge systems. So we are currently in the process of a center at Chinmaya Vishwavidyapith. We already have established a center at Rashtram, Rishihood University. And I was just, we've had this annual report on the alliances that we have. We have alliances with all the Sanskrit universities. And we were just looking at what kind of, so we're making the report in terms of what's the level of engagement that we have with these universities. just in terms of a framework, in terms of a high, medium, and low. And then I saw that there were some universities that we have a very low engagement. After our MOU, we could not. But there were some universities and some institutions we had a very, very deep and very high engagement. MIT is one, Chinmaya is one, Wishwood is one, KSRI is one. So I reached out to Kameshwari ji and Balasubramanian ji the other day, and we were having a discussion. And I told them that, look, it's time to deepen our engagement. And I'm very happy to inform you. So they gave a proposal of several texts, yoga text and Advaita text. There are about 8 texts, for which critical editions, translations, encyclopedia, each text, there's a different, certain things are publishing. So I, from that engagement, the idea has developed that we, and I'm very happy to use this opportunity to announce the establishment of a Atmanirbhar classical library, Indica Classical Library. I'm very, very happy to announce the establishment of this. We will be doing this with KSRI, at KSRI, and at other universities. And our endeavor would be to take the work that people, institutions like KSRI are doing, and publish in the same world-class fashion, in the same standards. We will have a Indic lens, a lens which is grown from within. And this would be the classical library that we would be establishing, one at KSRI, supporting all the work in yoga. There are several texts we have heard about that. Several texts I can read out right now. The proposal is to look at Siva Swarodhaya, Goraksha Samhita, Yoga Sangraha, Yoga Upanishads. There are 20 of them. 16 needs to be published. Gnanakuran, Yoga Bija, Vinayaka, and Encyclopedia of Dictionary of Yoga. All the works will be supported through this classical library that we are proposing to establish. I'm making an appeal through this forum for a leader to head this, because one thing I've noticed is that all the verticals grow because of leadership. So if any of you are looking to create an institution called Indica Classical Library and lead this initiative, please do reach out to me. This is, I'm very, very happy that this institution, the first outfit, the first extension would be at KSRI. And it gives me immense joy that I'm able to make this announcement on this auspicious occasion of the second conference that we are organizing. There are 3 values that we hold dear, and especially in yoga: authentic, immersive, and transformative. These are the 3 words that drive everything that we try to do, not just at Indica Academy, but more particularly with yoga, because we have noticed that this is what is lacking. So we have established a center for consciousness studies and inner transformation, in which there are 4 verticals: one for yoga, one for Vedanta, one for executive coaching, and one for conscious entrepreneurship. And within yoga, our idea is to establish a Yogacharya Alliance, We all know about all the other alliances around the world. But when we want to be driven by these three qualities of authenticity, immersiveness, and transformativeness, it would mean that we have to be the 36th chamber of Shaolin, the Yogacharya. That is what we need to be. So therefore, that not for profit, that alliance, Yogacharya alliance, will be is being established by us as a separate, independent, not for profit. We will be launching it at, on the International Yoga Day. And our objective is to establish three kinds of membership. You will have a primary membership, and the primary membership is for people who have qualified as a 200-hour teacher training elsewhere and are members of any other alliance wherever in the world. They are eligible. However, that eligibility is not simply you do a teacher training program and you come and join. There is an element of, there's a pledge that they would have to take, what we call it as a seeker's pledge. I want to read out from the seeker's pledge. I seek inner transformation through the pursuit of authentic and immersive methodologies and practices. I will acknowledge and express gratitude to the cause of this creation, sages for their wisdom, ancestors for my being, fellow humans and other living beings for their contribution and support in my journey. So you need to finish your 200-hour teacher training program anywhere else, plus sign the Seeker's Pledge. Then you are eligible to become a primary member of this alliance. So it's very clear that we are focusing on authenticity, immersion, and transformativeness, and gratitude. If you see the pledge in the second para, we brought in Panchamahayagna. We modified it. And therefore, that element of Shraddha, the element of ab initio surrender to that transcendence, that we are trying to bring in. And then we will have honorary members, members whom we believe do not need any certification. And they're conferred. They're conferred as Yogacharyas. They may be 50, they might be 100 paramparas. We have several paramparas. And then the actual qualified. So even we are also going to offer a Yogacharya program, but we cannot certify. This Yogacharya Alliance will certify. These Yogacharyas that we are going to confer, they will conduct a test in the traditional ways, and then they will confer. So that is the standard that we are trying to aspire to. This is a very big task that we have undertaken. We need the blessings of all of you. And we are also, again, looking for a leader to drive this alliance. So if any of you are keen, please do reach out to me, because this is a much needed move, to bring back authenticity into yoga. The Yoga Day, we are planning to launch this particular initiative. Apart from that, we have announced we had two workshops on what should be a Yogacharya program. Now, what should be the syllabus? Because we don't know what kind of a syllabus is it. From Sanskritam to Sutras, we have heard Jayaraman, right? So, and what should be the term? How long should it be? So at this point in time, we are thinking that we will be having a full-time residential program 12 months. And in that 12 months, there would be a discipline and a curriculum which is being evolved. We have 2 consultative discussions, and we are working on that. So as and when post-COVID, we are ready to launch the program. And this would, we hope to set a new benchmark on, this is the masters of masters. Like I said, the best example is the 36 Chamber of Travel. So this is the kind of standard that we want to engage. So whether it is chanting, recently we have started working with Shantala ji, and we have given 11 scholarships for chanting. So each of these verticals, we are again reaching out to the best of these speakers, best of the teachers, and reaching out so that we can bring in as guest faculty to this program. So this is the larger plan that we have for yoga within Indic Academy, both at the Center for Consciousness Studies, Inner Transformation, and at Indica Yoga. We are we were hoping to do a physical festival. Last year we did a festival for 40 days, which was first time the world has seen that kind of a festival. But this time around, we are again, because of COVID, we will not be able to do that. But eventually, through Indica Yoga, we are going to provide a lot of experiential programs. We are working on how to bring about, see, a lot of 200 programs are done in studios. So you basically learn asanas, you go to a studio in a city. But we believe, again, only the residential programs enable you to have that inner transformation. So we are working on a 300-hour foundation course for the Yogacharya. So unless you do this, supposing you did a 200-hour teacher training program in living in a city, going to a studio, and you got your certificate, you are not eligible to join the Yogacharya program. You have to do a foundation course of 300 hours. And this foundation course will be a 6-week residential program. And so eventually you'll be completing 500 hours, 200 hours plus 300 hours. And if you are done 500 hours in a studio and not through a residential program, again, you would have had to do this before you're eligible for the Yogacharya program. So we are working on how do we scale this to get teachers. So if in the audience we have teachers who would want to be the teachers for these foundation programs, do reach out to Vinay. We are looking at how we can map through an app all the potential, like an Airbnb model where you have a lot of retreats, where you can book 15 rooms, 20 rooms, and then you have the yoga teachers. So you can actually select the yoga teacher or select the retreat and do the 6-week foundation course anywhere in the world. So we're trying to create that kind of a model for foundation course. So we would be launching hopefully sometime soon, whenever, because eventually all this would be post-COVID, because we are very strongly believing in that transformative effect, which can only come through a residential program. Within Center for Consciousness Studies and Inner Transformation, we have 3 more verticals, as I mentioned to you. One is on the executive coaching. Again, here we are trying to develop a program. We have Prasad Kaipaji, Sai Sambat, and Raghu Anantanaran is director for that. And we are trying to develop a master's in executive coaching program, which is rooted in Indic wisdom. We are also have this long-term Vedanta programs. We are establishing an ashram in Coimbatore with Swami Atma Prakashananda. So we will be doing a 3-year course in Vedanta there. And the last one is on conscious entrepreneurship, I was mentioning. This is for 2 kinds of entrepreneurs. One is an entrepreneur who in the beginning, who is in the early stages, who wants to use his passion for yoga or Ayurveda or in the wellness space and he wants to be an entrepreneur in that space. So we were looking at how to train him, mentor him, coach him, and that well-being entrepreneurs or yoga entrepreneurs. The other is entrepreneurs who are serial entrepreneurs who've been there, done that, and now would like to contribute and give back to our society, our culture, our dharma, and how we can help him or her integrate his time, thought, and treasury, and look at lokasangraha, look at how we can work towards the well-being of the world. So this is conscious entrepreneurship. One is for the upcoming entrepreneurs, and one is for serial entrepreneurs who've been there and done that. So that's something we're working on. I'm personally working on that. So these are the larger plans that we have for the coming year. And look forward to your support and look forward to your participation. It has been a very interesting journey, very exhilarating at times, sometimes disappointing, because I find that the response from the scholars also can be a little more energetic. So we have an entrepreneurial thinking and entrepreneurial push, but the response is not immediate. So therefore, that mismatch always creates a sense of disappointment. For example, I was wanting a review of Stuart Ray Parker's book, which I mentioned some time back, and I'm yet to get a response from any scholar wanting to review that book. So we have seen a lot of so there is no appropriation will always happen, and distortion will always happen. There's no point in getting agitated about it. There's no point in letting our blood boil about it. There's no point. We just have to go and do our work. But we need to do the work, which means when opportunities like this arise, we need to raise to the occasion and respond. So I would urge the scholars to please respond to our calls for research. So with these few words, I thank you very much for all of you who have participated in this conference, our collaborators, and all the kind words that Swamiji has spoken, Kannanji has spoken. Kannanji has been a very good, what shall I say? He's been a guru to my guru. Nagaraj Garu is a friend and mentor. So it's very nice. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Thank you.
Thank you, Hariji. We could hear birds chirping from your behind. I was not sure which one is sweeter, whether your words or the birds behind, but definitely each one was adding to the grace of the other, and both were musical. Thank you very much for the kind of mentorship, leadership, and a very positive nudging that you provide to each one of us to be the best that we can be. So thank you very much.